Okay, let's talk Sony Alpha lines and let's talk log profiles. Okay, I'm going to debunk some myths for you. So this is specific to the A7S III. It will likely apply to other ones, but I'm not going to try to name which ones apply. And don't, because there are so many Alpha line cameras now. But in the Sony A7S III, it is equipped with a dual native ISO, meaning when you're at the native ISO in that camera, that is the cleanest the picture is going to look. There's no, it's a lot less noisy, grainy at these two different ISOs. And the low one is 640 for the S-Log3 profile, and the high one is 12,800. That specifically applies to the S-Log3 profile. This is what most guys don't get. As you switch profiles in this camera, if you go to HLG or Cine 4 or whatever, they don't have that same dual native ISO. They do have a dual native ISO in those profiles, but it is not the same of 640 and 12.8, okay? It is different. Another myth is when guys are doing photos with this camera, that dual native ISO does not apply to photography and the color profiles in this camera, okay? And I'm going to share one other tip that very few people know or realize. So on the Sony camera, you have the ISO. It's going to be really hard to see in this camera. I'll try to drop a screenshot. But on your ISO, you'll notice when you go below 640, you'll see two bars come on the top and bottom of your number. So as you go to 500, 400, 320, 250, 200, they have two bars, or a bar on top of the number and a bar below it. Then as you get to 640, that bar disappears, okay? Now, what you're doing when you go below 640 is you're actually taking the dynamic range out of that profile. Meaning, when you go to 500, you're now taking, instead of having 15 stops of dynamic range in that profile, which is what S-Log3 has, you're now taking those and diminishing that. Okay, you're not getting the full 15 stops as you go to 500, 400, 320, 250, 200, 160, okay? You're diminishing that color profile and the range it has. And so you're actually not getting the full 15 stops, okay? So there's a couple tips on the A7S III, and this applies to a couple other cameras in this realm too, but I'm just gonna keep it specific to this one.